Hi, Mike. Such a pleasure to meet you. So give us a brief intro to this film, and where on earth did you get the idea for a murder mystery in a nightclub?
It kind of wrote itself, to be honest. I wanted to do a musical where the music was the voiceover, not dancing around in the street musical. So it started from there, and then it sort of progressed to, well, my favourite book of all time is The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. I absolutely love the wisecracks of those old films, like Out of the Past and those sorts of films. So I realised that having this sort of heavy voiceover music kind of made it a film noir without me even really trying. It's very easy to find a story in nightclubs. I mean, nightclubs, anything can happen, right? We all know what happens in nightclubs, and I spent 10 years just sort of, in these weird green rooms. That makes them sound good. Offices, basically. Going on before, chatting to people. Yeah, so it kind of wrote itself, really. It was an idea that I didn't really have to be too determined with. It really was just, it wrote itself.
And you're no stranger to doing things DIY, but you really have worked on every aspect of this. It's kind of a personification of you in a way. What might have been some of the challenging moments and also the highlights of broadening your work to doing a film?
Everything, to be honest, was a challenge. It was a complete nightmare, but it was an obsession. I think it's definitely got more personality, me having done it. We were trying to get funding for it before COVID. I just had to get on with it. We got to 2019. It had been, I guess like 6 years to that point, and I just had to do it myself. But it wasn't easy, 100%.
I mean, original pilot material for me feels like the sound of being in the UK in a certain era, and still is. At the time, did you know you were making something so seminal, and do you sometimes feel like there's still copycats to this day, harking back to your music?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I was just trying to get it done, really. I was hoping that people in Birmingham maybe would like it, and really the dream is, I think, with everyone is just to be able to make a living, right? Just to not have to do a job. And so to that extent, I'm touch wood, I'm still not having to go. Although I don't have any tattoos, because I'm convinced that I'm going to have to go to a job interview at some point.
Thinking about where we are today, I mean, like we say, you captured a moment back then. Is there less cynicism? Are we in a more positive place? How do you see the youth of today in comparison to where you were, perhaps?
I mean, youth, I don't know. I don't think it ever really changes, really. Obviously they're much more on show now. In terms of rap music, though, I mean, we're in a completely different, the Central C is the #1 rapper in the world, this new song. So when I came out, the idea that a British person would be the #1 rapper in the world is completely unheard of. But this summer, the biggest rap song in the world was Sprinter. So it's amazing to have seen that.
And what's next? More film, more tours, more albums? Anything on your bucket list you haven't yet done?
I'm going to spend 6 months doing as little as I possibly can. We've got a lot in the diary, but my mind is just going to be I'm just going to be zen, I'm going to be I have to do lots of things, but trust me, it's going to be I feel like I'm just walking on a cloud. Just having this done is amazing feeling.
Do you want to shout out any other artists that you see coming up, next generation, that you think are doing really great things?
Yes, 1997. Yeah, go find him on Instagram, Debs. Yeah. So it's a musical. I've always made story songs that have, rap stories, and this is a musical where the songs are the voiceover. So no one's sort of dancing around in the street, swinging on lampposts, but my music comes in as a like a counterpoint and as a voiceover to a very simple story. The genesis of it really was kind of like I started to try out ideas, and I realised that having these heavy voiceovers made it feel almost like an old sort of like a film noir type thing. So it's a very simple sort of almost 1940s story, but instead of being in the 1940s, it's now, and I'm a DJ. So imagine Philip Marlowe if he was a DJ. Well, my second album, A Grand Don't Come For Free, was a kind of a musical without the film element. It was just an album that was a story. And I kind of started it with the idea of doing a similar thing, this film. But I realised that if the music tells too much of the story, it can feel really sort of at odds with itself, and actually almost like a comedy, not in a good way. So actually the album, you would not know the story if you just listened to the album, but the album is absolutely the film. It's just that you sort of need the film to... the album doesn't tell the story in the way that my previous album, A Grand Don't Come For Free, told the story. Well, I mean, the film is about DJs and musicians. Those are the only people in the film. And they're all who they say they are, pretty much. Partly because I had no idea about how to get a performance out of an actor. But also, I have always believed that you have to know what you're writing about. I mean, that's always been, I've always written what I know intimately about. I just happen to believe that that's how you get the emotional impact. So yeah, I really know about DJing. It's all I've been doing for 10 years. And actually, to base a sort of a very simple story, there's a lot that can go wrong, you know, when you're a DJ. The story wrote itself, really. I'm definitely more of and it comes back to doing music, you know. For me, it's not so much about acting, it's about how you say a sentence. I mean, that's a songwriting thing, you know. So I think I come at it with a slightly different, quite a musical framework to everything. But no, I mean, Bella May, Teeth, J.K. and Bowser, who just walked past. I mean, they've all just been absolutely phenomenal.